let's talk about the number one reason that most trades fail, and it's not their workmanship. Have you seen the rates most trades are charging at the moment? In my last video, I explained why the UK trades are about to become the best paid jobs out there. But here's the catch. If you actually want to earn those rates, being good on the tools is no longer enough. There are a set of skills that they never taught us about at college or on site. And without them, you're going to struggle to make the money that you deserve. So let me show you what I mean. The old way. So when I started out 20 or 30 years ago, it was simple, right? You did good work, you got work through word of mouth, everything was awesome. Someone told the neighbour, they told the guy down the pub, or their brother-in-law, mother-in-law, and before you knew it, your phone was ringing off the hook. That was your marketing. That was your lead generation. Nobody had heard about a sales funnel before. And back then, honestly, construction work was seen as hard work, but excellent pay. And there wasn't this constant need to compete. And so because of that, all you really had to do was focused on perfecting your trade, your craft. And that would speak for itself. You didn't need to worry about all the other bigger deal stuff. However, there is a new reality. Things have changed. Customers, they shop differently now. The first thing they do is go check Google reviews. Check a trade, which, whatever it is, whatever's your poison, I guess. They'll come, they'll stalk you on Instagram, on Facebook. If you don't have social media, you're nothing, you're nobody. Now don't get me wrong, you might get some work from people who don't necessarily use social media or don't rate it. But for everybody that's maybe like 50 or 60 below, they're going to be checking your social media out. They're going to have a look at your webpage, right? They're going to check your Google reviews. They're going to find out all this information before they even come and speak to you. And so if they don't like what they see, or like I said, worse, they don't even see anything there at all, then you might never even get the chance to quote because they'll just assume that you're no good. Now, I'm not saying that you're not any good. I'm just saying people will assume that you're no good if you don't have all of these bits and pieces in place. It's not just about being a good chippy, bricky, sparky. It's about standing out from the crowd, right? And I'm one of them who was like, nah, screw you, man. I'm just going to let my work do the talking. That's a great way to become unemployed, right? And for your business to go bust. To stand out, you need to learn skills that you've never been taught. And I guess it kind of means you're going to have to do things you maybe don't want to do. Because ultimately, you got to decide, do you want to succeed and charge those rates? Or do you just want to sit back and make the best out of what you've got? So what are these skills I keep talking about, right? Number one, and you may have been taught a little bit of this, or you may have not been taught anything at all, and that's quoting and pricing jobs correctly. Not just materials with a bit of profit on top of them and the day rate that you're going to charge, but actually understanding and factoring in your overheads, your insurances, your tax, and charging a profit margin, which might seem like madness to a lot of people out there, but if you're a business, all businesses work on margins. You have your basic business management skills, things like bookkeeping, cash flow, taxes. Now, they might be boring, but they are definitely essential to being able to run a good, profitable business. Let me just go back onto that cash flow one, right? You've heard cash is king. In reality, when you're running a business, cash flow is king. Cash flow is the thing that will make or break your business. It does not matter how good you are at your trade, at your skill, at your craft. If you can't manage your cash flow, you can't keep money in the bank, you can't pay your suppliers or pay yourselves, or the subbies that you're using, you're going to go under. And nobody's ever going to want to work with you again. So cash flow is the thing that you really need to understand and learn about. Marketing, right? Everybody looks at me like I'm some sort of weirdo because I do social media and stuff like that. Do you know why I do it? Do you know why I started to do it? It's free marketing. Everything I put up online, everything, all the projects that I share, all the work that we do is free marketing. I cannot tell you how many customers, well, I'll tell you what, it's probably about 99% of customers, when they come to me and they say, hey, look, I need this workshop built, I need this garden room built, I need this big project doing, the first thing that they say to me is, I've looked at you on social media. I've checked out your website, right? I understand what you do, who you are. We want you to work with us because I'll give you another little snippet of information. They're buying you, right? They're not necessarily buying your craft or your trade. They're buying you as an individual, you as a business. They're buying what they see. It sounds horrible, but they're buying you and your story. Because when somebody employs you, somebody contracts out the work to you, and they've never worked with you before, but they have seen you on social media, that's the person that they're getting to do the work. Whether it's a website, social media, or asking for reviews, it all counts. It all helps to build up this little picture, this little idea in people's heads of who they're employing to do the work for them. And I can promise you this, nearly every single customer quote request you will get, they will have checked you out on social media. And that is what is super important. Another big one is communication. So that's replying to emails, getting back on phone calls, understanding voicemails, answering the phone, keeping the clients updated. It sounds obvious, but so many trades lose jobs simply because they just don't pick up the phone. And last year I was having a conversation with my dad and he said something that completely changed my outlook on everything. He said that when he was taught business management, he was told you have to get back to that customer in the initial quote, request, phone call, email, whatever, within 24 hours. That's your time limit. And ideally, you want to get them a quote within 48 hours. And that 24-hour rule is huge. And it's helped us win a lot more work than what we were winning originally. So your communication is key. And sales. And I don't mean dodgy selling. I mean learning how to explain the value of what you do as a craftsperson. Being able to upsell additional work and build your long-term relationships with your clients. And just on that sales one, right? Have you seen when people sit there and they're like, hey, could you break your quote down for us, please? And they go, yeah, it's £1,000 for me to do the job, £0 for me not to do the job. That doesn't help anyone, right? It might make you feel funny while you're doing it, but you're pretty much guaranteed to lose the job. With everything that I've learned about sales over the last few years, the one thing that's become blindingly obvious, right, is you don't necessarily have to say, hey, this is my profit margin, this is how much money I make on materials, this is my labour rate. What you have to do is you have to provide value. And when you're providing value, you can still just give them a price, but give them a spec. And so I would always recommend somebody, say for example, right, somebody says, hey Josh, can you come build this stud wall for me, please? And we go, yeah, cool, how do you want it sheathed? How do you want this? How do you want that? And they're gonna say, right, I want this, this, and this. And you say, okay, cool, no worries. That's £1,200. And then on the quote or on the invoice I'm going to give them, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to detail how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to say, hey, that's 38 by 89. We're going to double the base, single the top. We'll do studs every 400 mils. We're going to sheathe one side with 9mm OSB. The other side's going to be 12.5mm plasterboard. We're not going to take the joints and we're going to bolt it through to the floor with 3 bolts every 1200mm. And that's going to be £1,200. Now I haven't broken down how much the materials are going to cost me, what my profit margin is, what my materials uplift is, what my labour rate is, what my day rate is, have I? But what I have done is shown them the value of what it is that they're asking for. And it makes it so much easier to sell the job to the client than if you just go, here's your price. And here's the truth, right? Being good on the tools, it gets you into the game. But the business skills, they're what actually get you to win the game and become that top 5, 10, 20%, whatever it is. And so the big point to take away on this is that trades who ignore this will be stuck on those same rubbish day rates, doing work for nothing and becoming busy fools and hating their lives. They'll be complaining that there's no money in the industry and think, screw this, I'm going to leave. But the trades that learn these skills, they're the ones that are going to be cashing in as the demand rises. And the reality is, the demand is rising. There aren't enough people coming through, older workers are retiring, and customers still need the work done. Right? Like I said in the last video, we need 96,000 trades a year. Something like 8,600 passed their tests back in 22-23. 30% of the workforce is over 50, right? 10 years, they're going to be aging out. And so that means opportunity is there, but the opportunity is only there if you're going to capture it and you're going to take it and make it what you want. So if you're serious about earning these new rates, earning these rates I keep chucking out there, don't just focus on your trade. Focus on the business side of it too, and the customer side of things. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how I took my social media following from around about 20,000 views a month to just over 7 million views a month, and how that can positively impact your business. I hope you've enjoyed today. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you. And look, just before I go, I just want to share this one thing for you, because if you're still here, right, you're still probably going to be interested in this. This here, right, this is a square that I'm making and building. This is what it looks like oiled. The reason I built this, right, is because I'm so sick and tired of throwaway rubbish. I want something that's built properly with the person in mind who's going to be using it, not by some weird engineer or somebody who's just throwing some design bits and pieces together. I want to buy something where the person who's designing it holds it, feels it, touches it, and understands it. And so this square here, right, is bang on square and will always be square because of this. Right, it is a full tang carpenter square, 6 inches. And when I say 6 inches, from here to here is 6 inches. This is about 190. You can get them with oak or walnut scales. This is the walnut. This looks super nice, doesn't it? Hey, they're engraved in my tool brand, which is 345 Tools. And if you know what 345 is, you're awesome. You definitely should be picking one of these up. I have stainless steel fixings. All the timber will be finished in a coat of Rubio, so you know it's going to be hard wearing. And this steel is 2 mil thick. Look, that's going to last forever. This is an heirloom tool. These are the sorts of tools that you'll be passing on to your kids, right? And when they pick them up, they're going to be like, man, this was my dad's. Which to me just puts a massive smile on my face. So what I'll do is I'll pin a link in the comments. That's going to be the link to the landing page. On the landing page, you can read all about the square, and it will take you through to the pre-orders. Pre-orders are going to be on and shipped mid-September. There's 50 squares going at the moment, but if you really want one, and you want the first delivery batch, go and check them out now. All right, thank you very much for watching. You look after yourselves, you take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one. Have you seen the rates most trades are charging?